Hi everyone, my name is Stan. Welcome to my channel. It's called The Russian Opinion. I'll also be releasing this video in Russian on my other channel. And of course, today I have Kat Sullivan. Her YouTube channel will be tagged in the description and as well pinned in the comments. Kat, thank you very much. Welcome to the channel. Thank you for meeting me here.
Thanks for having me.
Listen, my subscribers, they've been writing to me, do an interview with you because you're this half English, half American girl living in Moscow. So I know a lot of them will be excited to see you on my channel as well. But tell us something a little bit about yourself. Like where were you born, where'd you live, where'd you study, things like that.
Yeah, so I was born and raised in the UK. So my mom's actually Russian. So people love to debate on my channel, oh, you're not actually British, but literally I spent my whole life until last year living and studying in the UK and working in the UK. And my only native language is English. And I studied media at college. And yeah, I live just outside of London, like 30 minutes away.
When did you actually move to Moscow?
Last December. I originally came here for about 2 weeks, and then I went back home because I was renewing my Russian passport at the time, because I literally hadn't used my Russian passport since I was like 6 months old. So my Russian passport had a baby photo of me in. So yeah, it took a few months to do that. I visited here in the meantime and then moved here officially in December.
Okay, how many times have you been here before actually moving here?
Twice. So once when I was 6 months old and then once when I was 4 years old. So...
Okay, well, I mean, so you can't remember much.
No. I only visited Saint Petersburg as well when I came here because my mum's side of the family lived just outside of Saint Petersburg and we stayed with them. So my only real memories weren't even of the city of Saint Petersburg, it was of the little village. I just like some glimpses here and there, that's all I remembered. So yeah, I didn't know much of Russian before I came here.
Okay, so basically a blank slate, like nothing at all.
Yeah, exactly.
When did you actually start thinking about coming here and why?
So the main reason I moved here is because of my boyfriend, because he loves Russia. Like it was the thing that actually connected us to begin with, because he studied Russian at university. He did a degree in business and Russian for 4 or 5 years, I forgot how long, but he loved Russian from that, loved Russia, wanted to move here. It was his dream to move to Moscow and work here. So during like lockdown, he applied for a university in Moscow for his master's and then he got in. So yeah, I decided to move with him to Moscow.
And is he Russian or is he English?
Yeah, so he's half French, half Canadian, but also he was brought up in the UK.
So he's got no Russian in him whatsoever?
No, none whatsoever.
His dream was to move and work here?
Yes.
Okay, that's actually interesting.
Okay.
And maybe I should actually have an interview with him as well. Yeah. Okay, so do you remember that particular moment when you're like, yes, we're finally moving, we're actually going to move? Like, what were you feeling?
It was a strange time because of the lockdown. Like at the time, like during that period, I was working for an advertising agency, so I had a good job. Like I wasn't thinking of really moving to Russia at all. And my boyfriend was just studying and he was working too, but at the time, bit of a long story, but at the time, like the UK was having this system called like furloughed, where they like paid people their like 80% of their salary during lockdown, because some of the companies wanted to lay off staff and it was just to do that. Anyway, so he was furloughed from his company and he decided to take that time to study Russian like even more. And he had like Russian lessons like every few days. And yeah, he did want to move here. And I mean, I wasn't really interested in it. I was like, if it comes to moving to Russia, I'll move to Russia, but I wasn't interested in it. I was learning Italian actually during lockdown. I actually wanted to move to Italy, and that's what I did. I originally moved to Italy, and then it was really hard being apart. Like long distance relationships are not fun. So yeah, from that, I decided I was like, I much prefer to be with him than be in Italy. So it wasn't like, oh, I really want to move to Russia, I'm really excited about it. It was just like, I want to be close to my boyfriend.
Io ho studiato un poco di italiano nell'università negli Stati Uniti, solamente un poco.
To study in Italia?
The US.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nice.
For 1 year, for a little.
You studied Italian for 1 year?
Yeah,
me too. I only studied Italian, but I forgot. I feel like I've forgotten everything.
No, I know I forgot everything because like the one phrase, I can read it, I can understand
It's
it.
so close to English, like the letters are all the same.
And due to French, my knowledge of French, it's easier for me to understand it as well. So I studied a bit of Italian. That doesn't mean I speak it.
No, same. I think we must have studied the same amount because I studied for a year, like one class every week. But it's so fun. Like I just love. It's like my favorite language. I love the sound of it.
So how's your Russian, by the way?
I'm learning. I've been learning Russian for 6 months. So my mum started teaching me Russian when I was like a baby, but then I hate to blame it on my brother. Oops. I hate to blame it on my brother, but when he was born, he was he just didn't want to learn Russian. He was like, no, Mum, speak English to me, because everyone around us and my dad only speak English. So that's what we were around, and my brother just didn't want to learn Russian or speak Russian or anything. So after so long, my mum just kind of gave up and just doesn't speak Russian to us. So I learned the alphabet when I was really young, so I kind of had that before I came here. Numbers up to 10, like very basic things. And I recognize a lot more words than someone who just learnt Russian just as a random language, you know, because I have that familiarity from my mum reading Russian books and stuff, but doesn't mean I can speak it or speak very well, but yeah, I'm learning at the moment.
Okay, well, I mean, at least you're putting in the effort.
Yeah.
Before moving here, did you have any stereotypes at all about Russia or anything like that?
Yeah, I don't think I really thought about it too much because I just imagine myself in the country. Like I didn't really imagine necessarily the people or anything, but obviously because in the West we have all of these movies with like Russian baddies where the Russians are always the ones manipulating people, the ones being rude and harsh. I think most people probably have that perception of like coming here that people would be rude, but actually coming here in person, it's completely a different experience. Like everyone is so nice, probably even nicer than the UK most of the time. Like people are just so welcoming. They bring you to your house, they want to like take you out. Well, maybe that's because I'm a foreigner and they want to show me a new country, but yeah, I've had a really pleasant time, and I think being here has completely broken all this stereotypes that are shown in movies. And yeah.
Well, I mean, we had that stereotype back maybe 20 years ago. I think if people were to come here 20 years ago, they'd see what people were wearing, how people were acting, just general things like that. Then there are some truths to it. But the notion that every single Russian that you meet is a bad person or a bad guy, have people here been rude at all to you?
No, I've literally had like one encounter in the shop, and even because this lady works in the shop, when I see her, I'm a bit scared because obviously when I speak to people who are working in cafes, restaurants, whatever, I try to speak Russian with my small knowledge. Like I try to speak Russian, and I went to the counter, you know, where you get those salads and stuff. She was like in the middle of the square of salads, and I asked her for specific things, and I don't know the names of all these salads, so I took photos of the stuff I wanted and I showed it to her, and I was like 100 gram Eda and no, not 100 gram, that would be so little, like what's 100? Store, yeah, I was right. Starting to doubt myself. I was like 100 gram Eda, and she was like, huh? Store? Yeah, I don't understand, like all of this stuff, and I just like just taken aback, and because I didn't understand what she was saying, I said, can you say it again? Like, like, I was like going bright red in the face. Like, I was just so embarrassed. I didn't know what to do. I was trying to get Google Translate to help me communicate. You know, it's just a very easy day-to-day thing. And she started like shouting at me, and I gave up and just walked away. I didn't buy any salads.
So that was the one example.
One thing,
yeah.
And it's like, I mean, I go and talk to people Russian now still. It hasn't traumatized me, but yeah, only one for how many months? Like 9 months of living here.
That's not too bad. That's
really
not a bad ratio if you
think
about
it.
Okay, so you do chat a lot with the local population who actually can speak English, right?
Yeah.
So when they asked you why you moved here, right? You know that, right?
Yeah.
What do you respond to them? Because they expect you. I know that they ask you in a way where, like, why the hell
Like
would you ever
shocked.
trade? Exactly.
Yeah.
Why would you trade that country for this country? Like, what do you tell them?
Yeah, I think it depends who you talk to. Because, for example, my granddad, like, he doesn't understand people who go to the UK. He's like, why would you leave your country? Why would you leave Russia? Like, very patriotic, you know, loves his country. But then there's a lot of young people, especially in Moscow, who just can't wait to escape Russia. Like, are just like, what? Like, what? Why did you come here? Like, I want to move to England. And it's so difficult for me to do that. But there are different opportunities. I think you've got to know who you are and know where you're best suited to. Like, the UK has become a place that, when it comes to discussions, you're very censored. Like, you can't, anything you say will like trigger people to be like offended. Some will be offended by what you say, or they'll stop talking to you because you said something that they don't agree with politically, like morally. You know, there's just you have to step so lightly on so many topics. Whereas here, I feel like you can talk about basically everything, and if you disagree, that's fine, and you just carry on with life. Yeah.
Basically, the other party doesn't get offended, and you don't start a fight and say, "I will never talk to each other."
Yeah, again. I feel like it's easier to have friends here because everyone isn't a snowflake here. I have some nice friends in the UK, but here I feel like I can just connect with basically everyone. I don't have to agree with everything everyone says, but yeah, it's just different worlds, and that's one of the reasons I love living here. Like, I have that thing that the UK doesn't have here. It's more traditional. Yeah.
It is unfortunate how in some other countries it is turning out to be this way, where you are heavily censored into. It's self-censorship, basically. You know that you aren't allowed to say some things that are not illegal. They're not wrong, but you can't say them because then you lose your friends, you lose your job.
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah, exactly.
Some people even get kicked out of their apartments that they're renting because they don't agree with their landlord, or vice versa.
Yeah.
Has there been any kind of very positive moments that you could describe, something that really comes to mind about your travels here or people that you've met?
Yeah. Well, a big positive thing is like my YouTube channel, because I've been doing it for quite a few years now, and I was doing it in the UK, I was doing it in Italy, and while I was in those two places, my channel was, you know, just average. But once I came here, people were really interested in my opinion and what I'm doing, and that's been really nice. Like, it's been nice to be able to kind of start doing it as part of kind of my job. Like, that's just a dream of mine, to do like YouTube as like my full-time job or whatever, and it's just given me the opportunity to do that. And I've been able to like travel just because I've moved here. Like, that's just been a really nice aspect of being here.
Where in Russia have you been so far?
I haven't been that many places because I just came back from the UK just because I visited my family this summer. But before then, I was literally working 7 days a week online teaching English. So I had like no time to do really anything much. Whereas now I've quit that job, so I have lots of free time. So yeah, I'm planning on traveling to a different part of Russia every single month. But so far I've been to, obviously, Moscow, Saint Petersburg and Yaroslavl, and that's literally it so far.
How'd you find Yaroslavl and Saint Petersburg?
Good. I really, really enjoyed Saint Petersburg, so much so that like I'm gonna go there like every few months to visit my like grandparents and my cousins and stuff there. But also it's just such a beautiful, beautiful place. Like, it gives me like Italian vibes slightly, because I don't know if this is true, but the architects behind a lot of the buildings were Italian. So it just kind of gives me that Italian vibe, but while being like having all the benefits of Russia at the same time. Like
what? What are the benefits of that?
Like, just as I said, just having conversations with people, like job opportunities, like everything like this for me personally. I love these things about living here, but also I love St. Petersburg. It's so beautiful. There's also the river and so much to do. Like, I really enjoyed like being there.
I really liked St. Petersburg, and I've been there twice. The one thing that it's a mild inconvenience is when they open the bridges and if you're living on the one side.
We were staying on the little island, so we had to make sure we were back at a certain time. And we were there during the what's it called? FIFA Euro, thing at the stadium. And we wanted to go there and watch it, but then we were staying on the island, and obviously you can't be back too late, otherwise you can't get there. I think you actually can, but you have to go all the way around or something. But yeah, we couldn't end up doing that. That was a huge inconvenience.
But that's just one. I mean, you can walk around that city endlessly and just observing all the architecture and it's interesting. But if you actually go a little bit up north, if you're in a car, you can see how beautiful it becomes. Just a little bit away from St. Petersburg, the nature really opens up and you have your windy roads, you have your little small restaurants. But okay, so that's St. Petersburg. What about Yaroslavl? Because that's part of the Golden Ring City.
Yeah, well, it was much smaller than I expected, kind of. Like, there wasn't that much to do. Beautiful city. We went to the Kremlin, which was great. Unfortunately, the tall tower was closed at the time, so we couldn't have that amazing view of the whole city. But we only spent like a day and a half there, so really not too long. But my boyfriend used to study there, so he has like some friends and stuff, so we visited one of his friend's parents. Even though his friend wasn't there, we visited his parents and had a lovely lunch, which was so lovely, like to be invited into a real Russian household, and we cooked delicious food. Really nice experience. Yeah, interesting place. I do prefer like the bigger cities. Like, for me personally, I prefer to, I don't know, I think it depends what time of life you're in. I think when you're younger, it's probably best to be in a city because they're more like social life. So right now, I prefer to live in St. Petersburg or Moscow, but I'm sure like later on when I have kids, it would be a great place to live, like Yaroslavl. Just to get the best of both. It's like a city, but then it's also in nature of it as well.
Yeah, we were in Suzdal recently. I'm sure you saw the video.
Yeah.
There, you basically just want to lay atop of a hill, look at whatever you want to look at, the nature, the little houses that seem to be stuck in time, and just that's it. Just look and think. And the air is very clean. The people are very nice, and the food. By the way, speaking of. When you moved here, did you notice a difference in food?
Yeah, from the shops?
In general, shops, restaurants, any kind of taste differences?
I've done so many videos about grocery shops. I'm sick of grocery shops now. But yeah, there are quite a few differences. Mostly, I've talked about this like a million times, but it has to be said, the meat. Like, I think apparently Russia, I don't know if this is true, but apparently Russia is a big exporter of beef. But I really don't like the beef. Like all the other food, fruits and vegetables are amazing, so much better than the UK. They just have more flavour, and especially during the summer, like now plums are insanely cheap because they're in season. Whereas in the UK, when fruits and vegetables are in season, they're the same price like all year round. But like here, like cherries, when they're in season, so cheap. You can get kilograms and kilograms of these fruits, so delicious and so affordable. But yeah, I love that about the food. But yeah, beef like chunks and minced beef, not a fan. And I've tried them from the butchers, so every Russian who tells me try it from the butchers, I've tried it now. And it's just a different texture, different taste, everything about it is different. I don't know why. Maybe like in the UK it's worse quality, or in Russia it's worse quality or something, or maybe they feed the animals different things.
It's probably how they feed the animals and what they feed the animals most likely.
So interesting though, but when you are brought up with a certain taste and texture of like a basic food like meat, and you taste something different, it's very strange. So I was saying, oh, it's not nice, but for me, I was just brought up with a completely different taste and texture. So also haven't come across a lot of lamb. In the UK, we have a lot of lamb.
How difficult or how easy has it been to get your documents to actually live and stay here?